untouchable, unforgettable. I'm crazy with the syllables and metaphors. I met up before. Y'all know I'm raw like H2SO4. I burn like acid. I melt through plastic. If you step me through that. My name is Christopher Emdin, and I am a professor of science and education at Teachers College, Columbia University. My work includes preparing teachers to be able to teach effectively in science, but also involves working with young people to be able to reimagine their relationship between literacy, science, culture, and education. We are going to learn how to write a rap. Now, some of you are like, what do you mean? I don't write raps. Have you ever written a poem before? Yeah, I wrote a poem. Writing a rap is kind of like writing a poem or writing a story or writing a narrative, except it's those things plus a bunch of extra layers to it. Some folks could write a rhyme just to rhyme. Some folks could write a rap where the presence is dope and the emotions is right and the feelings is popping and, you know, all, like your heart feels full. And to do a rap and do it well, you have to combine all those things. Hip hop has always been a part of my existence. There's something about beats and rhythms and rhymes that just speaks to my soul. And hip hop is this phenomenon that just found a way to sort of capture the complexities of the experiences of not just urban America, but all young people who feel like they don't fit and they don't belong. Somehow hip hop speaks to them. And so for an educator who always wants to work with connecting with young people, and particularly wants to connect with young folks who are most marginalized from success in teaching and learning, hip hop has been my best co-teacher. All of a sudden, the respect they have for the culture gets translated to the respect they have for me. Then I can then connect the respect they have for me to a respect or reverence for my content. And all of a sudden, teaching and learning and that magical dance starts to happen. Given that we're gonna work with you guys on how to write a rap, I figured I'd get you like the best rapper that I know, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna introduce this brother named Loaded Lux. Lux is a man who, he has a phenomenal presence. He has sort of empathy for young folks. He has love. He has patience, an ability to critique with love. He lives and breathes in this sort of like subconscious world of genius and rigor. And I think to be able to let him bring that to a classroom and let young folks see that it's okay to see a version of themselves who operates on that intellectual plane, it allows them to have a different exemplar of what they can aspire to.
Patience, imagination. I think imagination is a big part of it. So everything, it starts with you. Mm-hmm. That's first and foremost out the gate. You know what I mean? So you gotta own this. Nobody could be you. That's the beauty of this. And I'm only telling y'all to tap into this certain energy because ain't nobody got your energy. You gotta be the words on the page. You know what I mean? It's a different thing thinking, but being, ain't nothing like it.
When you write a rap and you're not writing it from a place of honesty and truth, guess what? The people listening to the rap will always know.
Yeah.
And the assignment that you guys might have had before we even got here today is like to think about something that makes you who you are, right? Something that makes you honest. You want them to feel that who they are outside of any pretensions is the most important thing. So you build a sort of sense of self, you build a sense of confidence, you build a desire to want to share who I am with the world. So the lesson begins with that.
There's one thing to have content, that's your mind. But then there's another part that when you feeling it, that's your heart. You gotta find a healthy balance with the two.
You know, Lex and I were talking earlier about the difference between an institutional knowledge and an intuitional knowledge.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what's an institutional knowledge? School is an institution. Columbia is an institution. Your high school is an institution. So that those people can give you information.
Right.
That's institutional knowledge.
Right.
But intuitional knowledge is the connection, the feeling. You want you to tap into your intuitional. Persona is a mix of performance, presence, and personality.
Oh, man.
Right? So performance is like how he walk into the room. The reason why people are not comfortable when they go into a space is because they don't know who they are. So they're judging me, not sure who I am. Right. Versus, yo, I'm here. You know what, real quick, let's do a quick activity. What's the word that you think captures you? Mine is I'm ratchetdemic, you know what I mean? Like we all got our joints. Take like 3 minutes and you can talk with your homies next to you about what's your word. I want you to just write about who you are. Random words, random sentences, random thoughts. This is the part that's most important. You tell young folks to write, but you set no parameters in what they write. Loud. Okay, so do you think that in life, like, you're usually loud?
My personality is such that nobody will ever forget.
So it sounds like unforgettable. Nah, that's it. That's it. What's your word? Bold. I love that. I love that.
What's up for the nickname? Get stronger every time you develop. Like, what made you accept it?
Like the connection. The connection, yeah.
I love that.
Once you hone it and own it, you just know. Nah, yeah.
Once students have sort of written down their phrases, their words, their sentences, what teachers should do is let them share those things out loud and remind them of what they said they wanted to be. You cannot engage in a how to rap lesson if you're working with young folks who are shrinking over the course of the lesson. So part of this work is about empowerment, it's about celebrating voice, and it's about identifying that whatever it is that they put on paper is good enough to take to the next level. Who wants to volunteer to share what your word is, like the presence you want to give off, and then tell us why?
My word is bold. I said bold because I know I'm a leader, and every time I walk into a room, I don't just walk into a room to be there. I show up.
So if a kid says, all I've written is a word, and my word is supernatural, now you want them to be able to take the word supernatural that's on paper and make it a performance of supernatural. Supernatural. Text is lived. Once he said out loud what he thought he was, his body language.
Everything changed. Everything changed.
You know, my shoulders is back now.
Yeah.
I was here before and I ain't know, but now I feel bold. And so when you get these bars, your bars gotta be bold now, right? Yeah. What about over here?
Being eccentric means you're very hype. You're different. You're like a vibe, right? I think I'm eccentric because I don't try to be like nobody else.
My word is Afro because it reminds me of where I came from and my past, my present, and my future.
It's official. You basically keeping it real, being not fake, being your own person, not a copy of somebody else.
I always tell people authenticity is the biggest currency. Before money, before anything else, authenticity is currency. Right. That'll get you wherever you need to go. All right, so this has been lit, y'all.
Yeah.
So now we gotta make a transition. So what I want y'all to do right now is I want you guys to think about a story that you want to tell people about you. And then we're gonna build to a rap from that. Maybe 2-3 lines. And ideally, let it connect to the persona that you want to give off also. So right now, go into your groups, you can work with people, and try to take that personal narrative that you shared and try to start putting it in a structure that sounds like a rhyme, that sounds like a verse, that sounds like a rap.
Basically, revising the story that you made and making it into a verse.
I love that. So what part is harder for you then?
Trying to make it all make sense. And when I write something, I transfer from different topics to topics, so I want to make sure that I get over one before I like just jump into the next. Or if I do that, it gotta like make sense.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. What do you think?
I want them to know what I'm talking about, cause like when some people be rapping, they don't know what they be talking about.
This is like you get more deep if you can use a metaphor. It's more deep if you can use an analogy. It's more deep if you can use figurative language. It's more deep if it reflects a lived experience. The literary devices are the path towards the depth in the line. And the depth in the line is what makes it not just words, but a rap.
Beat the brakes off of a rapper. I hate commercials.
Okay.
I search you in the engine because business been getting personal. But get them in that circle, that's where I'm going to get at work to. Virtue or vices, grip and screw up your life strength. Tombstones, diapers, everyone's in a cipher.
I love the hate he gets for being dope. He doesn't absorb that, he works on his craft. And for me, that's what I want to do in my life as a professor, is what he does as an MC. And that's what I want all the young folks that I work with to do in what you do.
It wasn't easy, had to find my craft. Losing at first, it hurt, but now I get last laugh. Want to battle me, I'm advising you to please fall back. Lot of hats in the room, cause all I'm seeing is cap.
Don't let your words truncate your imagination. You know what I'm saying? Because that metaphor was so right to go another level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I see what you're doing. I see you.
Yo.
Yeah, I see you. We don't teach young folks how to be able to exude confidence. We don't teach young folks how to be vulnerable. We don't teach them how to be able to deal with emotion. And I think that this kind of lesson on how to rap gives you the opportunity to be able to teach them these skills that they need for navigating life. You teach kids confidence by giving them an activity where they have to exude some confidence. And you also do that by giving them activities that begin where you can't be wrong and then scaffold up in the rigor.
When I leave, my name is still there, but let me make this clear. You will never forget my laugh, my words, my face. It's like getting sprayed with mace. You'll never forget that bad moment. Just like you won't forget the story of me just flowing.
What you mean that don't rhyme? What are
Like,
you talking about?
It's not like a beat though. It's like saying it like a poem.
So this is what you're saying. Your cadence is not traditional. Slow is a flow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a vibe.
That's what we doing here. You know what I mean? You doing what you doing. It's not what's right in front of you. Every time you go to put something together, ideas come from the future already. You coloring it in. So you can't look for like to get the validation from like right now. You doing something that's next level.
So it's traditional literary devices, yes.
Yeah.
Right? But then the beat conjures up the emotion. Then the emotion conjures up an insight into the reality.
Beat gave me that, so that's the emotion. That's the vibe.
Look,
Yeah.
vibe.
And that's his name, his vibe. You see how it all
It gives me like hope and like more motivation to keep doing it because it's a way of expressing my feelings.
Every teacher who is watching this will be fearful in some way about the use of rap because of things that they've heard about rap music or because of what they've heard in rap music. And I want us to understand that there's a difference between what folks are creating that may be problematic and the art form that they're using to create it. All right? So if you hear misogyny or violence or aggression in rap, that does not mean that we cannot use rap as a mechanism to be able to combat the same things that you heard. And so part of this work is being free enough to understand that they may slip into something that's wrong. And then you can find a method to be able to address it so that they can fix it going forward.
Music speaks to people, certain people, in a different way. Like, some people will listen to music to get away from certain things.
Compare yourself to the version of you that's greater than you, always. We exist not to be versions of somebody else. We exist to be the best versions of ourselves.
What's the purpose if it's still doing damage? My mind made up, I lied, I'm stuck, I need a buck, feeling like I'm broke, provoked, and I'm woke, and I spoke my peace.
See no evil, who these people, I just need a sequel.
I'm too cool like LL. Got my name ringing school bells. No, forever lost, I never fell.
Took a lot of losses. I'm drained, I feel exhausted. I let through what the pain and rain, that's why I'm cautious.
I'm maintaining, because my pops is not here right now. He in the pen, I'm in the gym shedding tears right now.
Don't be afraid to leave a trace. Your thoughts cannot be taught. Make like a lion, brilliant, overcoming, lovely, and defiant.